Hi, teacher. Good afternoon. Hi, guys. The topic is Conditions to Have a Meaningful Learning by Alicia Taboada Pérez, María del Carmen Montalvo Ramírez, Paola Juárez González, Dafnay Saldívar Díaz, and Guadalupe Hernández López. Okay, let's start. What is or what do you understand by conditions to have a meaningful learning? We could think of a techniques to have a learning environment or maybe dynamic activities to motivate the students, no? But what is meaningful learning? Meaningful learning is to feel that all the pieces of a concept, idea, theory, or argument fit together. Characteristics of meaningful learning. Meaningful learning is active, constructive, and durable. It implies understanding. For example, we must feel that information is useful and not limit ourselves to only memorizing it. It requires active learning techniques. It also implies linking information to existing knowledge.
Meaningful learning, according to Osler, should be the hallmark of formal higher education, which is achieved through sustaining critical discourse. Construction is linked with teaching methods such as inquiry and problem solving, resulting in the ability to identify and apply to connect existing new concepts. Educators who intend to offer meaningful experience to their students are invited to contemplate and design teaching and learning around the following attributes. Now I explain more about the attributes to learn. 1. Active. Learning is an active cognitive procedure where the student is the protagonist. This dimension signals the active participation of learners by interacting with content and the learning environment and engaging with a subject matter so as to make a personal cognitive contribution. 2. Constructive. Learners are expected to construct constitutionally their own meaning by interpreting and reflecting on observed phenomena, content, and the results of their actions. 3. Intentional. Learners are encouraged to exhibit individual ownership, agency, listen directives, set goals, consciously, and commit emotionally. 4. Authentic. Meaningful learning requires tasks linked to an authentic experience of simulated, realistic context so that they become personally significant and transferable. And 5. Cooperative and relational. Human learning is also a social process involving learners and teachers. Groups collaboration and peer conversations occur naturally in case knowledge building communities. Additionally, engagement, passionate teachers contribute significantly to the emotional environment of learners. Meaningful with a strong experience where both teachers and students. More information about conditions for meaningful learning. There are 7 conditions and it's more important about to know. The first is the learning is involved sincerity, emotionality, and intellectuality. In different activities orient toward the new legends she or he wish to possess. The second conditional derives from talking the learners as the center attention and starting from the real needs and problems of the learners. The this acts is a motivational factor of primary importance. Remember that the perspective of Carl Rogers, its motivation is basic. The third condition refer to create a simultaneous and safe environment
For example, explore, test, try, and reinforce the learning process. The conditions of the physical environment, for example, decoration, object, um, color, sounds, taste, temperature, influence or needs for desires to learn. And the found condition is appropriate and accessibility, learning results and variety, for example, objects is necessary for length. It's adequate accessibility, learning, for example, books, magazine, fields, new perfect, etc. Then five. The five conditional is a type to relationship between the teacher and the student. It's very important. For example, Roger proposed the three basic attitudes for the relationships that promote meaningful learning. There are congruence and acceptable and empathic understanding. Six, conditional is the students learn to assess their learning to know what and who they have learned. For example, it's very clear and identify the progress in this point.
Types of meaningful learning. According to the content of the learning, Ausubel distinguishes three types of meaningful learning. The first is learning representations. It learns symbols and words. For example, the student associates the symbol with the learning word, the picture the dog with the word dog. The second is learning concepts. Learning words and concepts. Concept learning occurs as the child expands his vocabulary. Third, learning propositions. Learning express ideas. The interaction with relevant ideas already established in the cognitive structure, and from this interaction the meaning or the new proposition arise.
Hello, so I'm going to talk about the assimilation theory by David Paul Ausubel. So this theory purpose of this theory is dealt with type of learning, the attention and the retention of verbal information. His proposal focuses on the learning that occurs in educational institution and well also dealt with the acquisition of scientific concepts by the students. Teaching by reception or discovery or gives rise of learning of a road as a type of significant acquisition. David Ausubel explains the assimilation as a process by which new information is incorporated into the cognitive structure of the students or the learners. Is in this process the individual acquires and retains meaning. In addition, Ausubel considered the cognitive structure that the individual process as a fundamental factor for teaching knowledge, a new knowledge. By cognitive structure understood the set of ideas like images, concepts, and experience that the subject or the student can process with previous knowledge and that are relevant to the student. These ideas and concepts are called subsensors, which serve as a cognitive bridge for the assimilation and incorporation of new information. Assimilation is only possible after there has been an interaction of this new information with relevant and pre-existing aspects in the cognitive structure of the individual way. Through this interaction, both the meaning on the new information and the meaning of the pre-existing concept are modified, as can be deduced from what has been written so far, or assimilation, the product of the interaction between new information to the subject A and a successor, subject A, can be modified after a while. Therefore, assimilation is not a process that ends after significant learning, but rather continues over time.
In the summary, we can easily state the benefits of meaningful learning experiences in the classroom, as well as the effectiveness of the students' meaningful products. When the teacher of all educational areas and levels are really the products of learnings and their result products, they feel motivated to go on with the project, and they do not want to turn back every again. Uh, the teachers find the sense of teaching because their educational effort is rewarded. Uh, they want they can get enormous satisfaction as all students successfully accomplish their classroom tasks every day. Uh, it should be remarked that the applicability and the what methodology enables teaching to find the meaning of education and the school teaching. They every appraise it to good results of sight, and they every positively change their perception of education given to successful learns and teaching. We in our everybody to educate terms of learning meaning meaningful learning. Some of the advice to learning meaningful learning experience as the satisfaction of teachers and at the found work at the positive response of learning. The progress is disciplinary are reduced, and the teachers are able to pay more attention to the diversity of the heteronomy, heteronomy of learning without being overlooked. And in addition, the teachers manage to make them our learning, which is highly satisfaction with regard they were teaching. As evaluation tests show, the learning task is optimized with a high level of achievement, quite a field to the correct condition explained between learners and teaching can be easily solved. Many of those problems do not occur because they have already been go off. Well, it is finished the presentation about meaningful learning. That's all. Thank you. See you the next video. Bye.